you son of a bitch. Cause Pawn's drunk loves you.
Let's get ready to rumble!
What up, y'all already know this is Pawn's Drunk Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, a.k.a. El Sazón, a.k.a. El Borracho, a.k.a. Café Bustelo, a.k.a. El Pastor de Boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this side of heaven. God bless you all. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Shout out to everybody, man. Hope you're having a good start of the weekend. A lot of boxing, and of course, it's going to be a good month in the sport of boxing. We have an anticipating bout between the two legendary, the sons of two legendary fighters, Nigel Benn, Chris Eubank Sr., and we're going to be having Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr., you know what I'm saying? That's going to be good out there in the UK. Fight of Fury as well. Also, you already know that we're going to be having May 2nd, May 3rd, and May 4th is going to be a great night of boxing, back to back. We're going to have the Times Square, New York City with Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barbosa, Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero, Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez, and then follow it up, we got Canelo Alvarez versus William Skull out there in Reha season. Jaime Munguia back in the mix of things. And then we're going to see Naoya Inoue makes his return to U.S. soil in Las Vegas, Nevada, adopting the Cinco de Mayo date from the Mexicans. Shit. Today we got Richard Torres as well. Okay. An American Latino as well. We're going to be talking about who's going to be the next, or who is the best American Latino since Oscar De La Hoya. There's a lot of potential number ones. Y'all see the poll, go vote in right now. We're going to be talking about, is it going to be Teofimo Lopez, the two-time lineal champion, became two-time lineal champion by the age of 25. Probably got the best resume out of anybody in this young generation. But the guy also on the pound-for-pound list is Jesse Bam Rodriguez, who has beat Cuadra, who has beat Riverside, who has beat Juan Francisco Estrada, who has beat Sonny Edwards, also a lineal champion as well. David Benavidez. Now, David Benavidez may not have a lot of hardware yet. Pause. Yes, but David Benavidez does have a good resume thus far, and I think has a good streak. You know what I'm saying? He's making a good mark right now in the sport of boxing. He might not have, like, again the belts, but in terms of resume, you're talking about he beat Caleb Plant, he beat Demis Andre, he beat Alexandro moving up to the 175-pound division. Then he beat David Morrell Jr., a fellow boogeyman that was in the 168-pound division as well. Also, we got, look, I may even mention Virgil Ortiz. I know Virgil Ortiz haven't won a world title. Yes, he's an interim champion, but if you look at his resume, you could compare it to even any other champion right now in the sport of boxing as well. There's a lot of belt holders that don't got the type of resume that Virgil Ortiz does have. Beating Boachuk, beating Majramov, also beating Maurice Hooker and stuff like that. So, and the Mean Machine, you feel me? I think that he's beating guys better than Bud Crawford beating those guys that they got comparisons comparing, not how you say it, not comparison. What is it? When you have the same opponent as as another fighter and stuff like that, which you can compare the Mean Machine, the Majramov. So Virgil Ortiz could be on that list. Also, let's not forget this one. Andy Ruiz, the first American Mexican heavyweight champion of the world. Let's not forget that he did beat Anthony Joshua, but Anthony Joshua was when Anthony Joshua was probably arguably the number one heavyweight in the sport of boxing, right? Surprised everybody in Madison Square Garden. And the heavyweight division is in his own island, so we got to give credit to Andy Ruiz. Now, I know he hasn't done anything after he did beat, I believe it was Luis Ortiz as well. So, hey, man, you got to give him a lot of credit. He's going to be in the mix as well. Ryan Garcia. Is Ryan Garcia going to be in the mix? The only thing with Ryan Garcia, and that's why the reason I didn't have him on the poll, is because he hasn't won anything yet. Yes, he won. We could make the same argument with Virgil Ortiz. He did beat Devin Haney, but when it goes down to the history and the history books, just like when people be like, yo, but when it goes down to the history book, Teófimo López, punch, he's not 2-division undisputed world champion. He's not an undisputed champion in the lightweight division. So when it goes to the books for Ryan Garcia, we can make the same claim that they took that win away from him, that Devin Haney win away from him. But we all seen it. It's still on YouTube. We still gonna go to the tapes. And at the end of the day, I still, in my opinion, I do believe that Ryan Garcia still get that W, still beat Devin the Dream Haney. But in the record books, we'll see how that's gonna transpire, or how that's gonna play in when the writers are voting in Hall of Famers and stuff like that. Who else? We got Sebastian Fundora. Sebastian Fundora did beat Tim Tszyu. Sebastian Fundora he lost to Brian Mendoza. So there was a triangle theory right there, and that's why you can't believe in triangle theories, because Brian Mendoza lost to Tim Tszyu. Fundora beat Tim Tszyu. You feel me? Mendoza beat Fundora. So I think that and I think that's a great win. The Erickson Lubin win as well. That's a good win. He's a 2-time belt holder. I do want him to not beat the likes of, but I do want to see him fight the guy in the 154-pound division that left the 154-pound division, that was the king in the 154-pound division, and that was Jermell Charlo. If for Sebastian Fundora, because I believe that Sebastian Fundora got belts, but I don't think he got the crown. The guy that holds the crown is still Jermell Charlo, who said he's heading back to the 154-pound division. So this is a good conversation. Of course, in the sport of boxing, we always be like, who is the best UK fighter? Who is the best Mexican fighter? Who is the next best Irish fighter? Who is the best Australian fighter? You know what I'm saying? So, but in America, we know that it's kind of divided and stuff like that. They'd be like, who's the next good black fighter, right? American black fighter, right? Well, who is the American Latino? The next or who is the best American Latino fighter ever since Oscar De La Hoya? Now, let me tell you why I like what I like about Oscar De La Hoya that a lot of people have not talked about, right? Oscar De La Hoya gave voices to the American Latinos. I'm talking about the Latino descendant, whether you are a Mexican descendant, whether your parents born in Mexico and you was born here, or you Dominican or you Puerto Rican and your parents was born in Puerto Rico, but you was born here, your parents was born in the Dominican Republic, you was born here, your parents was born in Cuba, you was born here, and stuff like that. Let me tell you something about, we're like the stepchild. We're like the kids, we like the stepchild in America, meaning like, I bet how much you want to bet in the hood, you be like, man, you're not a real Mexican. You got to be Mexican from over there. But then the Americans over here, let's say the blacks or the whites or whatever, be like, man, you Mexican. But the Mexican be like, you American. So you just stuck in the middle. And we seen how that transpired. What's good? Wrong in the building. Wrong in the building. What's good? We see how that transpired in the Oscar De La Hoya versus Julio Cesar Chavez, when Oscar De La Hoya is getting loved by everybody, by all the Americans, by all the Mexicans and stuff like that, wearing the Mexican colors, the American colors, right? As soon as he fought Julio Cesar Chavez, oh, he's not a real Mexican. Oh, he's not a real Mexican. And even though that I'm not Mexican, right? That's the connection that I had with Oscar De La Hoya. I believe that Oscar De La Hoya became our number one voice. I'm talking about the American Latinos. Like, everybody did have a voice, right? Everybody, Black America had a voice. White America had a voice. Asian America, they got their little Bruce Lee, right? They had Bruce Lee. They had Jackie Chan, right? Everybody has something in America, right? And when it comes to sports, right? But we didn't have nobody. We didn't have that guy. That Oscar De La Hoya was that guy that I identified with as an American Latino, a guy that was born here, that Latino, but their parents was born in the Latin country. You understand what I'm trying to say? If you got Mexican in your blood, you're still Mexican, even if you're born in America. I get that. I'm saying, but the way that in the community, 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 the way You know, I heard I know there's Mexicano and Chicano. So what's the difference, right? You know what I'm saying? There is like an authenticity, pure. You ain't that pure if you ain't born over there. You know what I'm saying? I used to have, just growing up, I used to have all these arguments and debates, barbershop debates with the guys that was born in Dominican Republic. You tú no dominicano, tú eres americano, tú eres americano, tú eres americano. But if I go, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like when they got mad at Alex Rodriguez. Ooh, I forgot about that slide counter. He said Mikey Garcia makes a good case. Yes, we gotta put Mikey Garcia. Look, because they not active, so I ain't put them. So, but yeah. We're gonna add Mikey Garcia and Fernando Vargas in the mix. Even though they got beaten by Oscar De La Hoya, but what are the Latinos that has been? That's a good one. Mikey Garcia in the mix as well. We got Teofimo Lopez. We got Teofimo Lopez. We got Bam Rodriguez, Mikey Garcia, Sebastian Fundura, David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? I put Andy Ruiz in the mix. Y'all could put Ryan Garcia in the mix, even though he haven't won a world title. I don't think that he could be that guy because he haven't won a world title. But I think the most accomplished ones are T.O., Mikey Garcia, Bam Rodriguez, right? Hardware-wise. Resume-wise as well, we got to give a lot of credit to David Benavidez as well. That's what we got to add him up there. A lot of people been pushing Andy Ruiz to the side, but we got to give a lot of credit to Andy Ruiz as well. He said Trinidad and Benavidez better than Trinidad was not born here. I said American Latinos, not Puerto Rican Latinos, American Latinos. Trinidad was not born here. All the real Mexican have been getting beat by the Mexican American. Puerto Rico, part of the, you know what I'm talking about. No, we're not doing that one. No, we're not doing that. You know what I mean. No, they're part of the island. Puerto Rico is Puerto Rico. They got Puerto Rican boxing. So why we incorporate Puerto Rican boxing then? So we could just say American, but so American. So there's no more Puerto Rico. Then it's just American boxing then. So let's not say, oh yo, there is Puerto Rican versus Mexican. Let's not do it anymore then. We can't say no. It's the best American. We gotta put Tito Trinidad as an American. You just can't have it two ways. Oh, Puerto Rican and then American. No, I see no, mi hermano. Either Tito Trinidad is American or Puerto Riqueño. Dime, what you want? Tito Trinidad is American, huh? Isaac Cruz full Mexican. Yeah, he's not in it. He's full Mexican. Andy Ruiz was born here. Virgil Ortiz was born here. Bam Rodriguez was born here. David Benavidez was born here. Teofimo Lopez was born here. Oh, how about Danny Swift Garcia? Danny Swift Garcia, 2-division champion. Resume, probably one of the best resumes of all of them. Probably Danny Swift Garcia got probably the best resume out of all of them. You know what I'm saying? Shit, he got Kendall Hawk in his resume, got Zab Judah on his resume, got Amir Khan in his resume, Lucas Matisse in his resume. He did fight Sean Porter, which people thought that Dennis Swift Garcia did win. He had a close fight with Keith and Tom Thurman. He did fight Earl the True Spence. He did get retired by Lara. He beat Brandon Rios. He beat Lamont Peterson. Is Danny Swift Garcia the best American Latino ever since Oscar De La Hoya? Oh, look at Truth always say Danny Garcia will be number one, hands down. Wow, forgot to put that one. Yo, this is a good topic now, huh? This is a good topic now, huh? The best American Latino boxer ever since Oscar De La Hoya. We got Danny Swift Garcia in the mix right now. Mikey Garcia, Teofimo, Bam Rodriguez, David Benavidez, Andy Ruiz, Sebastian Fundura, Virgil Ortiz, Fernando Vargas, Diego Corrales. We'll put them all in there. Brandon Rios. Forget about him. He did beat Brandon Rios, though, right? That's out there. That's a good one. That's a good one. He said nowhere near close to Oscar. Who's the one closest to Oscar? If it's if we gotta pick out of all of them, we gotta pick a we gotta put it. We gotta like, you know what I'm saying? We gotta put that 10 into 5 and then to 3 and then to 1. The closest one to Oscar. The closest one to Oscar in terms of resume. In terms of resume, the closest one to Oscar. In terms of resume, maybe Danny Swift Garcia. In terms of resume, even though the Teofimo Lopez got a good resume as well. I mean, look, Teofimo Lopez did beat Richard Comey, did beat Vasily Lomachenko, did beat Jermaine Ortiz, did beat Sando Morton that retired Mikey Garcia, the 4th Division World Champion, did beat Josh Taylor, about to fight Arnold Barbosa. The best resumes, Danny Garcia, Teofimo, Bam Rodriguez. And look at Victor Ortiz, Mexican American. Yeah, he's American Latino. Tito not American. No. Tito's Puerto Rican. Let's not play the semantics of but Puerto Rico is part of America. No. Puerto Rico. But we got Puerto Rican boxing for a reason. And I think that Puerto Ricans are proud to just have the Puerto Rican boxing. Amber Mares, Mikey Achando, Abner Mares. Oh, how about Leo Santa Cruz? Is Leo Santa Cruz was born here? Oh, that's another one. Hold on. Let's go. Let me see. If Leo Santa Cruz was born here or over there, let me see. Leo. I think Leo was born here. Leo Santa Cruz. I think he was born over there, man. Let me see. Oh, let me see. He was born here. We got to put Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz, a 4th Division World Champion as well, right? Is Leo Santa Cruz a 3rd Division World Champion? We got to put Leo. Yo, this is a goodie right here. You know why I like to talk about this? Because this is the era. Because think about it. When it was Oscar De La Hoya, before that, there wasn't a lot of American Latinos. Oscar De La Hoya was the first international American Latino star of all sports, if you really think about it. He was our voice. I'm talking about the people that are Latino, but their parents was born in the motherland, in their country, in Mexico, in Dominican Republic, in Puerto Rico, in Cuba, in Venezuela, in Panama, and stuff like that. Oscar De La Hoya was our voice. Before Oscar De La Hoya, it was Julio Cesar Chavez. It was Julio Cesar Chavez, Salvador Sanchez, Hector Camacho. Hector Camacho was born in Puerto Rico, but he was from Harlem as well, but born in Puerto Rico, right? And he repped Spanish Harlem to the fullest, right? He's our founding. He's our what would you call it? Our founding son or whatever you want to call it, right? Who else? You had the Fredo Gomez, the who's that guy the guy that Kendall Hawk beat? Alexis Arguello. You see, all these guys was not. Oscar De La Hoya was the first American Latino international superstar. Angel Manfredi, nah. We can put Diego Corrales there. And then it started the trend. But nobody really took over like Oscar De La Hoya. Everybody still... See, Oscar De La Hoya is an enigma. Oscar De La Hoya was an enigma. Nobody has captivated like Oscar De La Hoya. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he did have a Mexican following, but even with the time when he did fight Julio Cesar Chavez, a lot of Mexicans showed their true colors and how they felt about Oscar De La Hoya. And that's why, if you're just tuning into the live, I'm talking about this because that was the time when the Mexican that was born there was telling Oscar De La Hoya, you're not a real Mexican. See, Oscar De La Hoya needed to find his own identity. And that's what I mean here. For the Latino Americans, we need to find our own identity, right? And that's why I said it again in the beginning of the live. That's why I first was a fan of Oscar De La Hoya, because Oscar De La Hoya was our spokesperson. He was our guy. He was the only, he was what Black Scene and Jackie Robinson. And a lot of people till this day do not give Oscar De La Hoya that type of credit. The first thing when I spoke to Oscar De La Hoya is I told him, thank you. Thank you for being our voice. Thank you. We was the I'm telling you, the American Latinos. I'm telling you, we're like the stepson, the guy. Nobody want to claim us like that. Nobody want to claim us like that. And maybe there's the reason why Cotto Cassell and Tito Trinidad Cassell, but Danny Silva Garcia can't. You understand what I'm trying to say? Con los 5 pesos de Super Chari Resume, Danny Silva Garcia. Accomplishments, Teofimo Lopez. Says Oscar De La Hoya, no one has beat a top elite fighter in such a big fight at the age of 23 years of age. I agree with you, my brother. I agree with you. When it comes to the accomplishments and the resume, Danny Garcia and Teofimo Lopez is the guy. And that's the reason what I was trying to say. And good looking out, man. Appreciate you, my brother. I agree with you 100%. Resume, Danny Garcia. Accomplishments, Teofimo Lopez. Fact. Resume, Danny Garcia. Accomplishments, Teofimo Lopez. Since Oscar De La Hoya, no one has beat a top elite fighter in such a big fight at 23 years of age. Let's not forget, yo. That's what it is. People be like, yo, Punch, you always talking about your boy Tio. It's not about me just talking about my boy Tio. It's that Teofimo Lopez is a highly accomplished fighter, and I'm a boxing fan. If I didn't know Teofimo Lopez, I would still be saying the same thing I'm saying about Teofimo Lopez. He just done things that in today's age, just because people don't like him, just because people don't like how he talks or how his father talks, that doesn't take away what he's done in the sport of boxing. And that also doesn't take away what we actually saw and the politics in the sport of boxing and how they did his legacy dirty. If it wasn't for the damn WBC franchise, this guy would have been the youngest heavyweight undisputed champion. This is the reason why a lot of people be like, even though that, Devin Haney, they got Devin Haney as the youngest the youngest undisputed champion and stuff like that. And today, it was Tio. We know that. They know that. They stole that away from him, man. And then we want to be in this community and be like, no, he not. He didn't have the WBC world title. Like we play dumb, just to play dumb, just to win an argument, just to have a little bragging rights, just to cater to an argument. No, we saw it. Let's not do him wrong because we want to win an argument. Nah, man, we saw what was wrong. Yeah, at the end of the day, if it wasn't for the politics of the sport of boxing, I don't give a damn what y'all say. I'm not dumb. If it wasn't for the politics of the sport of boxing, at the age of 25, Teofimo Lopez would have been recognized by the 100% of the boxing community as the first 2-division undisputed world champion in 100+ year of the sport of boxing. I can't take that away from him. I'm sorry. I won't take it away from him, man. He's a 2-time millennial for a reason. I ain't gonna take that away. I know what Josh Taylor was. Josh Taylor just vacated his world title. I seen in the lightweight division what the WBC did with the franchise. I know who he was fighting at the time when he fought him. He said, what about Shakur? Well, Shakur's half and stuff like that. I don't think he considers himself as a Latino. See, a Latino is a culture también. You got to embody the culture as well. Shakur Stevenson is I'm gonna say he is a Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican, half black and stuff like that. But he himself doesn't embody that culture anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that this discussion hurts his feelings if he's not in it. Now, if Ryan Garcia, if that belt was going to be on the line, right? Let's be real, let's be honest. If that belt versus Devin Haney would have been on the line and he would have beat Devin Haney for the world title, it would have been the best victory of this past. It would have been one of the best victories of the generation. It would have been there. It would have been the best. Put it this way. The best win of this young generation, the best win, in my opinion, of this young generation, right, is Teofimo López beating Vasily Lomachenko, especially at the time when he beat him. Bam Rodriguez stopping Juan Francisco Estrada. If it wasn't for the layoff and stuff like that, right? But the way that he stopped them, that's the two biggest win, in my opinion, of this young generation. Teofimo López beating Vasily Lomachenko, Bam Rodriguez beating Juan Francisco Estrada. If Ryan Garcia would have beaten Devin Haney for the world title, if he was professional, if he was on weight, if he took it serious, and it would have had that ass track, and if he would have beaten Devin Haney for the world title, that probably would have been bigger than Teo beating Loma. Maybe. I don't know. That's would have been debatable, because at the end of the day, he beat Lomachenko, Devin Haney, but he wasn't the Lomachenko that fought Teofimo López. But the thing is that Lomachenko was regarded pound for pound, 1, 2, 3. You could flip it around at the time when Teofimo López beat him. But Devin Haney did have a legitimate resume going to fight Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? The Jorge Linares, Jojo Diaz, Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? He did have a good, a Regis Prograis. He did have a good resume leading up to the Ryan Garcia fight. So that would have been the biggest wins, top 3. Also, one of the biggest wins, in my opinion, it is David Benavidez stopping Demetrius Andre. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn if y'all don't like Demetrius Andre. For me, that's his biggest win. In my opinion, that's his biggest win of his career, is being a 2-division champion who has been heavily avoided in a 160-pound division. I think that was the biggest win. The Caleb Plant, I'm not going to say that's the biggest win, because I didn't feel like he outperformed Canelo Alvarez with Caleb Plant. Alexandre, I think people thought that David Benavidez was going to beat Alexandre. The David Morrell Jr., I don't think David Morrell Jr. has done enough in the sport of boxing, right? I think the way that he stopped Demetrius Andre, and I think that nobody thought that he was going to do it like that. I didn't think a lot of people think that it was going to be done like that. The closer the fight got made, I didn't think a lot of people was like, yo, he's just going to stop him after the 6th round. I didn't think it was going to be like that. No, David Benavidez got good wins. That's why I have David Benavidez there, because when it comes to David Benavidez, it might not be the hardwares, but hey, yo, his resume speaks for itself. He got Anthony Durrell, Caleb Plant, Demetrius Andre, Alexandre, and he got David Morrell Jr. Got some good wins. He got Lemieux too, even though that he was washed up, but got him on the resume. So who y'all think? Who is the best American Latino fighter since Oscar De La Hoya? If we say Fernando Vargas, even before losing, Fernando Vargas did beat Winky Wright. Yeah, it was a little controversial. People thought that Winky Wright or Fernando Vargas, it was a close fight, but that was an upset, right? He did beat Winky Wright. Who else he beat? Who Fernando Vargas beat after that? Nah, he lost to Tito Trinidad. Did he fight Icorte? The Claudio Icorte. Who did he fought? Robert, con los 10 pesos a comprar comida china, mi gente. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the support. Why y'all water backs trying to claim Shakur? I don't think nobody's trying to claim Shakur. I think that Shakur is a black Puerto Rican. His father is Puerto Rican. Like, why are y'all mad that he's claiming? Put it this way, huh? He said, distinguished black gentleman. Why y'all water backs trying to claim Shakur Stevenson? Well, you should ask Shakur Stevenson why Shakur Stevenson is trying to claim his dad. Does that make sense now, brother? What happened? You don't want Shakur Stevenson to claim his dad? You don't want Shakur Stevenson to embrace his Puerto Rican side? Huh? He got a sister and a brother. I think he got a sister from his father's side. You don't want him to embrace his sister? It's that underlying hate. You don't want forget about people in the sport of boxing trying to embrace Shakur Stevenson. You don't want him to embrace his dad's side? Dev in the building. What's good, brother? Y'all literally emotional females. Get off the internet and get a job. Fill out the job application and change the batteries in your smoke detectors. Facts. It's Shakur who claimed it, and we respect Shakur that claimed it, of course, right? He had to think. You know what it is? I know he fell flat on his face. That's what it is. He fell flat on his face. He thought it was. He was trying to get somewhere with it. You know what I'm saying? And then, see, this is all positive, right? This live is all positive. This ain't a live shitting on any other body, right? This ain't a live. It's shitting on the Australians, the UK, the Irish, the Indians, the blacks. Pero siempre viene uno. Que le pique, le pique, le get tight for whatever reason. Why you get so tight? But let me tell you like this, though. It's still an issue. The American Latinos have the same problem that the Black Americans do have. The American Latinos have the same problem that the Black American do have. And what is that? In the sense that we're the same in the sense of support. See, Daniel Garcia never got the support like Cotto. Never got the support like Tito Trinidad as a Puerto Rican. They tried. They putting him in Puerto Rico versus Herrera. They tried. They tried with Danny Swift Garcia. I'm not saying that Danny Swift Garcia ain't put some numbers in Philly, ain't put the numbers, but what he did in the sport of boxing, he was trying to do, he should have been a bigger star. I like the way that they did put him in the East Coast and Philly and in the Barclays Center. He was the first one, I believe, that fought in the Barclays Center. He had some great support there, right, in his region. But the support in American boxing is the same, and it goes down for everybody. It goes if I'm gonna say it like this. Look at if David Benavidez was from Mexico. If David Benavidez was from Mexico, I'm gonna say it like this: the pressure on Canelo Alvarez will be. It will be. I don't know. Is it only one? They can only have one. I don't know, but Teofimo Lopez. If Teofimo Lopez was a Puerto Rican fighter, but from the island of Puerto Rico, oh my God. Ay. If Teofimo Lopez was a Puerto Rican fighter from the island of Puerto Rico, he'll be selling out Madison Square Garden everywhere he walks, bro. Everywhere he walks, it'll be hundreds of fans climbing over him, bro. In New York, if he was New York and a Puerto Rican fighter from the island talked the way that he talked Spanish and stuff like that, but he's from Honduras y es de aquí. Honduras is not a Puerto Rican boxing country, right? Who else that should be? Virgil Ortiz. Virgil teases his fans is climbing, but it's taking his time. He's an entertaining fighter, but he's from here. I remember if Andy Ruiz was from Mexico and he had some hype behind him, El Gordito de Mexico, and he was fighting Anthony Joshua. I was here, bro. I went to the press conference, Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz. There was no Mexican support for Andy Ruiz. There was no Mexican support for Andy Ruiz. Remember, this fight was at Madison Square Garden. Go look at the fight again. Go look at the fight. The only people that were celebrating that fight was Andy Ruiz and his team in the ring. Nobody gave him a chance. Nobody. You know when Mexico claimed Andy Ruiz, even though Andy Ruiz did fight in the Olympics in Mexico, but they claimed him after the fight. Everybody, the first Mexican, oh my God, but that wasn't even the promo leading up to the fight. It wasn't even a promo that Andy Ruiz, if he beats Anthony Joshua, could be the first Mexican heavyweight. They even started saying the first Mexican heavyweight. After he won, I was here. I went to the press conference in the Bowery. I was here. Almost nobody left any. Nobody was basically paying attention to him like that. They didn't claim him like that. Go look at the first fight. Go to Madison Square Garden. Look at the arena was it? And there barely Mexicans went to go see Andy Ruiz. Barely Mexicans went out there to see Andy Ruiz. I know that for a fact. Ryan Garcia, grandpa from same side, Mexico. But he's on the list as well. Mikey Garcia, 4th division world champion. Is he the best American Latino fighter since Oscar De La Hoya, Mikey Garcia? Or did he retire too young? Did he make a mistake going to the welterweight divisions to fight Earl the True Spence? Ruiz is one of the best boxers in heavyweight. He is. Still is, man. Damn. I'm to be honest, bro. I think that I said that he'll give Alexander Usyk a run for his money if he was dedicated. Outside of Alexander Usyk, Andy Ruiz got the fastest hand in the heavyweight division. Andy Ruiz got the fastest hands in the heavyweight division outside of Alexander Usyk. And I think, to be honest, I even think that he got a better combination than Alexander Usyk. If he was dedicated to his craft after that win, Andy Ruiz have the potential. Andy Ruiz have the potential to become a world champion again, especially in this era. Even in the rematch, think about it. Even in the rematch, Anthony Joshua was worried about the power of Andy Ruiz. And if Andy Ruiz barely trained for the I'm not talking about the trilogy, I'm sorry, for the rematch. If Andy Ruiz barely trained for the rematch and still took it to 12, that tells you how good Andy Ruiz could have been. And remember, he's an Olympian, so he's good. Niggas struggle with Big Baby Miller, but Big Baby Miller is not a bum either. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he just that money, that AJ money changed his life, bro. That AJ money changed his life. He bought like 5 houses for like 15 cars, jewelry, started making, you know what I'm saying? I think that money was too much. It was too overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like, see the difference between Oscar De La Hoya and guys like Oscar De La Hoya and Teofimo and Bam Rodriguez. The good thing about their career is they getting their best win when they're not even having all that money yet. Yeah, Oscar De La Hoya was getting money, but I'm talking about he didn't get the type of money that he was getting already after the Trinidad's fights, and then, you know what I'm saying, after that. The Hector Camacho, the Pernell Whitaker fights, the Julio Cesar Chavez, he was still young and hungry and still climbing the ladder in terms of cachet. Teófimo López fought Vasily Lomachenko and came home with $500K. Bam Rodriguez probably made 1 million. Probably made 1 million. I don't even know. Probably 1.1, 1.2, or probably less than a million to face Juan Francisco Estrada. The good thing that they fighting in these fights and they're hungry. See, the problem with a lot of fighters today is now they fighting the fight when they're not really hungry. You see, like Keith Thurman, right? Keith Thurman got the Manny Pacquiao fight close to his 30s, and yeah, he was banking in some good money with, well, not all of it money. I'm not even saying Keith one time Thurman. As I say, let's say Earl Spence. Let's say Earl Spence. Earl Spence banking some good money before the Bud Crawford fight. You saw there was no hunger. You saw there was no hunger for, but yeah, right after the Sean Porter fight, that's it. That was it for Earl Spence being hungry. You know what I'm saying? He was hungry for the Mikey Garcia fight. He was hungry for Lamar. He was hungry for the Kell Brook. It was a whole different type of demeanor. By the time he got to Bud Crawford, it was like, man, I'm going to get all this money and stuff like that. If Earl Spence would have fought Bud Crawford, let's say if there was the age of 25, 24, it would have been a whole different type of ball game, in my opinion. It would have been a whole type of it's also special when you have all that money and still stay hungry. That's, you got to give a lot of credit to Canelo Alvarez, to Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? To still stay hungry with all that money. That's more, to be honest, that's more impressive than, or just as impressive as a person that got nothing to lose and go out there and fight like they got nothing to lose. That's more impressive. That's more impressive. It's impressive that Canelo Alvarez still stay hungry and have already all the money in the world. That's impressive for Floyd Mayweather to still have all the money in the world and still train the way that he trains. Remember, this is the fight game. Even Mike Tyson lost his hunger. Hey, yo, even Roberto Duran, after the first Leonard fight, lost his hunger. Floyd Mayweather never lost his hunger like that. Canelo Alvarez never lost his hunger like that. It takes a lot of willpower to get back in that ring when you got all the money in the world. Why do I want to F on my face? Look at Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor probably want to train. He want to fight, but he's like, for what? Why I'm going to get my nose broken? For what? My shin, bro. For what? I got all the money. I got all the money in the world. Why do I have to? For what? My ego? For what? I got my health and I got money? I don't need to fight. I think that fighters like Conor McGregor, they play around with the media and the fans. I'm going to come back. Let me see how relevant I am. Oh, shit, I'm still relevant. I could do this business. I could capitalize off this business. I don't got to fight. I'm still relevant. The day when they see their relevant is leaving, then they'll be like, shit, so I could capitalize off this business on the side. I got to get back in the ring. It's the only reason why they will get back in the ring. Is to capitalize other business, to stay relevant enough to capitalize off other businesses. He said comparing Tio to the Golden Boy is insanity. I mean, look, why? We don't got to be a slave to the past, man. Things evolve, things change, people get better, right? It's not about comparing Tio to the Golden Boy. It's saying who's the best fighter since the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. No, this is not a list of who is better than Oscar De La Hoya. This is who's the best American fighter since Oscar De La Hoya. And you could compare little things. You're not going to compare a whole career, but you're going to compare little things, right? You could compare a style. You could compare a knockout. You're not comparing. Just because I'm saying, oh, Teofimo Lopez won his stuff early in his career, just like Oscar De La Hoya. How dare you compare Teofimo Lopez and Oscar De La Hoya by comparing it? By comparing it. He's a two-time lineal champion by the age of 25. Yes, I could compare it with anybody. Anybody in the history of the sport of boxing, I could compare Teofimo Lopez. It's because you're living in today's time and giving credit, overly greatness credit to somebody that you're at the present time is too much. Oh my God. Oh my God. Punch stop. You know, nobody will beat Roberto Duran. You know, Nobody will beat Hagler. If I say, yo, Canelo Alvarez will whoop Hagler. No, he won't. No, yes, he would. Why not? Canelo will whoop a Hagler. Yes, he will beat Hagler. Yes. No, he not. You crazy? Hagler is this. Hagler ain't never moved up like Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez got a better chin than Hagler. Huh? Anybody gonna argue that? Yes, Canelo Alvarez got a better chin than Hagler. As a matter of fact, Canelo Alvarez, he actually risked his chin. He's the one that moved up. Yeah. No. Because nobody today could be nobody from the past. Huh? Nobody today could be nobody from the past. Yes. Why not? ¿Y quién es Hagler? Ay, mira este tigre. Ay, what's so funny? What's so funny? Why Canelo Alvarez can't be Hagler? Why? Huh? Who Hagler be? Little Duran, little Hagler, little and also little Leonard. Dime who he be? That is a giant. He was always the biggest guy. Ay, mira, you think we slaves to the past? Nah, hey, yo, Canelo Alvarez le gana a Hagler. Y ya lo dije yo. Postro boxing. I say, all right? Canelo Alvarez will whoop Hagler today. Ay, mira, esta gente. Ay. These fools thought that Boo Andre was going to beat Canelo. I think that he could have outboxed him in his heyday. Yeah. Canelo's in his 30s and knocking motherfuckers out. Duran will beat Canelo too. Canelo will make Duran quit también. ¿Verdad? Canelo will make Duran quit. Hey, Teofimo López and Teofimo López, not even Devin Haney quit. Como Roberto Duran. No, yo dije, yo, I don't care. You guys are too slave to the past. The past was the past. If Roberto Duran would have quit today, man, Instagram, IG, TikTok, yo, he'll be the laughing stock of the whole world, bro. If Roberto Duran would have quit today with Twitter and YouTube and IG, I ain't me madre. This guy would be flamed. As a matter of fact, Roberto Duran would probably, the way that he'll be flamed, he'll probably try to commit suicide, bro. Imagine, can you imagine if Teofimo Lopez fighting Devin Haney and says, no mas, ay. Can you imagine? Yo, can you imagine if Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez fighting Gervonta Tan Davis and Teofimo Lopez says, I can't do it no more. Ay. Lo matan a ese tigre. Yo. You crazy. You like to forget about that. He said, look, why you mad? Why you mad? This nigga said that Canelo Alvarez le rompe el culito a Hagler. Él le rompe el culito a Hagler. Why not? Oh, look at this guy acting like Hagler never lost, like he's undefeated. Este tigre loco, Mira, hold on. Hey, yo, my friend, I show you what Hagler is. I show you, man. I show you. Mira este tigre. Mira. Ay, mira, de que Canelo no le puede ganar a Hagler. Pero yo te digo a ti. Wait a minute. Mira este tigre. Ay. Mira cómo se pone el tigre. Mira. Man, this is Hagler 2 right here for you, motherfucker. Right here. 1976. Losing to 27-3. Bobby Watts. Lost to Willie Monroe, el papá, mira, look at that, my friend. And then he fought somebody that's 6-4. And then he fought somebody that's 2-12. Imagine Canelo Alvarez today fighting somebody with 2 wins and 12 losses after losing to Dimitri Bivol. Mira, 11-17. Hey, my friend, you don't know nothing about boxing, all right? You getting flamed in your own shit. Hey, your Canelo Alvarez will whoop Hagler today. He'll whoop him today, bro. You guys are slave to the past. That's what it is. Dímelo, Mill City. Dímelo, mi hermano, esta gente son palomos aquí, Dije Canelo no le habla a Hagler. ¿Y quién es Hagler con Canelo Álvarez? ¿Ah? Hagler was beating little dudes, little great dudes. Él le ganó a Roberto Duran. ¿Ah? Él le ganó a Hagler, son pequeños. Why you didn't move it to light heavyweight, algo así, y pelea ahí? Mira. Look at that. Look. He had a draw. He had a draw in career. Look. And then the next time he fights, he fight 1-1 guy. Look at 730. Look at seven wins and 35 losses. You are a slave to the plan, to the past, my brother. Yeah, these people like to talk about today's resume. These guys are slaves to the past. The guys today will whoop those guys in the past today. The guys today will whoop those guys in the past too. Yeah, I said it. Now you guys are slave to the past. You guys are slave to ESPN, the classic. When we're talking about the past, you guys will be like right away. No, the best, like Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns, and that's all you guys know. What about the other guys in the top 10? Who was them? Imagine a guy, Canelo Álvarez facing somebody like that. You guys are slave to the past. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. Canelo was already a big deal. Oz got to him. Oz made him why he did. No, Canelo beat. No. Roy Jones beats Canelo Álvarez. I even mean to know Roy Jones will whoop Canelo Álvarez behind. Roy Jones whoops Canelo Álvarez. In 168. Roy Jones will eat Canelo Álvarez alive. Pause. Por Canelo Álvarez le gana Hagler. Canelo le gana Hagler. Hagler is stiff too. Go watch the damn fights. He's stiff. He just looks strong because he was bigger than these guys. Hearns was was not a middleweight. Duran was not a middleweight. Oh, yo, Hagler beat Duran. Nobody gave a shit when Earl Spence beat Mikey Garcia. What the fuck do I got to give a shit when Hagler beat Duran? Because y'all slave to the past. Nobody gave a damn when Earl Spence beat Mikey Garcia. Why do I have to give a damn that Hagler beat Duran? Deja eso, gente. Stop being a slave to the past because you living in today. You don't want to give today the credit. Let's stop. Let's start a new trend and let's appreciate today. You're always trying to shit on today with the past. All these guys will do good. Yo, I'm gonna tell you this. There's few fighters from the past that I feel they'll be still incredible today. One guy that comes to mind that I say that he will be anybody in any era is Sugar Ray Leonard. To me, he'll be anybody in any Walter. He'll be Bud. He'll be Mayweather. He'll be Pacquiao. He'll be all of them. In my opinion, Sugar Ray Leonard, he transcends any era of boxing. Any era. That man right there, any era. Sugar Ray Leonard will be able to beat them all. Mayweather, Hoya, everybody. Sugar Ray Leonard. You put him in. If I bet on boxing, I will never bet on him, even though he lost to Duran in the first fight. But the Sugar Ray Leonard, to me, skillfully, top of the line. The evolution. Sugar Ray Leonard, Roy Jones Jr. in his heyday. Roy Jones Jr. was ahead of his time. Roy Jones Jr. really beat Bernard Hopkins and beat James Toney. And when he beat James Toney was regarded pound for pound, top 2, top 3. Salvador Sanchez, I don't know yet. Even on that in the division, I think that Salvador Sanchez beat these guys because right now we don't got too much in 126. But I'm going to tell you like this. I think that now Yaino Uwe beats Wilfred Gomez because Wilfred Gomez, remember, what was the best win for Salvador Sanchez? Was Wilfred Gomez? Wilfred Gomez moved up to fight Salvador Sanchez as well. De La Hoya had a debatable with Felix Strum in 2004, who was 20-0. Tio lost a debatable in Cambosa was 19. And no, we don't know that Oscar knocks out that Cambosa. Look, every fighter if every generation and every era had the little hiccups. Every fighter had the little hiccups. Let me know one fighter that didn't have a controversial win or a controversial loss, or didn't lose or didn't get knocked out. Tell me one fighter in the history, all of them. Even Mike Tyson had a rematch. Razor Ruddock. He even had a rematch him and beat him at the second time, knocked him out in the second time, right? Floyd Mayweather had a rematch Maidana. And if you look at the skills of Maidana and Floyd Mayweather, Maidana should have never given Floyd Mayweather any trouble compared to the skills. But that's when you know that styles make fights, right? Floyd Mayweather had to give Castillo a rematch, had to give Maidana a rematch. People thought that Castillo beat Floyd Mayweather. Every legendary fighter had their hiccups, had their draws, had their laws, got their win back. You know what I'm saying? Ryan was already big. Okay. Wilfredo didn't move up to. He didn't move up to fight Salvador Sanchez. What was he? Wilfredo Gomez wasn't he at 120, 122? I don't know. That was too long ago. Punch Hagler was stiff. Really? Dude, he was machine. I'm not saying that he's not a machine. I'm not saying, but he's not that. But Canelo Alvarez will beat Hagler. That's my opinion. And I'm not saying that Hagler can't beat Canelo. But I'm not in the all these guys in the past is way better than all these guys in the future. Like if you put everybody in the past, everybody always want to pick the guy in the past that beat Keith Thurman beats Aaron Pryor. Keith Thurman A plus Keith Thurman beats Aaron Pryor. No. Aaron Pryor on 140. I said, yo, one time I had a debate and people, hell no. Is Aaron Pryor from 140-pound division? Huh? Keith Thurman, that guy, not Aaron Pryor. They hey, yo, what happened? Huh? Uh-huh. Yeah. David Benavidez will probably beat Hagler too. Huh? Even though that he never fought at 168. But David Benavidez probably le gana a Hagler también. ¿Por qué no? No, I said Shelton. He said Miguel. No, American Latino. Not Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican got their own boxing Puerto Rico. If you want to incorporate the Puerto Ricans as Americans, so we don't say a Puerto Rican boxing no more. No. Stop it, guys. I already did that. No. We say American Latino. Lono's boxing said Keith is a fridge contender in the 80s. The fuck out of here. You crazy. Good looking out with the $2 super champ. You guys are a slave to the past. That's what it is. And it's all cool. I get it. Even in the NBA, who's better? LeBron James or Michael Jordan? I say Michael Jordan. Right? I say Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Who's the favorite baseball player? I say the best baseball player I've ever seen the best baseball player is Barry Bonds. The best right-hander, Manny Ramirez and Albert Pujols. What are you going to see? Yeah. You talk to me about today, you're going to talk about the Japanese from Los Angeles Dodgers and todo esa vaina. I'm going to stick to Barry Bonds, so I understand it. I understand it. Yo, look at Joe. Yo, George Foreman will F up all the heavyweights today. Yeah, he will get beat. Yeah, he will get beat up too. He lost. It wasn't just Muhammad Ali. When he came back, he did lose too. Huh? None of these guys are that untouchable. You know what I'm saying? Just look at the past as well. Like when people talk about the past, all right, but look at the past. Look at the fights. You telling me that these fighters today, they good. Now, when it comes to 15 rounds, but then that shouldn't even be an argument, because the 15 rounds, if there was still 15 rounds, fighter today would have adapted in their training regimen for the 15 round. Now, I'm going to tell you something that I don't like what fighters do today. This is why I don't like what fighters do today. And maybe it's because there's no 15 rounds. And I'm against it. And I don't care if any trainer, strength and conditioning coach, anybody gonna tell me different. I've had these debates before. The problem with fighters today is some of them, and it's getting to most of them, are abandoning the road work. You're seeing guys already gassing in the 5th round. 5th, 6th rounds. We never used to see that before. You know why? These fighters are abandoning the road work. They have these new science. You don't need to run no 6, 7, 8 miles. You don't need, no, you better run. You better run. Muhammad Ali did it, damn it. Sugar Ray Leonard did it. Huh? It's the reason why these guys is gassing now. No punch resistance in the 9th, 8th round. 9th, 8th round. Psh. These guys in the past ain't even getting their second win yet. That's what I respect about the past. The endurance of the past is what I respect. That's what I respect about the past. Compared to today, I give them that. The endurance. The endurance. There's few fighters I see with endurance like that. People gassing out. 10 rounds? 10 rounds? Shit. I think 10 rounds should be, no, they be having 10 rounders. Nah. Everything should be 12 rounds. Aaron Pryor cleans up this 140 ever. You think Gary Antoine is a problem? Man, no. Skillfully, Gary Antoine is a better skillful fighter than Aaron Pryor. Skillfully. And Gary Antoine Russell was faster than Aaron Pryor. Low-nose boxing. Gary Antoine Russell throws better combinations than Aaron Pryor. Come on, man. You crazy. You're crazy. Hell no. And Aaron Pryor was on coke too. Take off Aaron Pryor on the coke, he probably feels some punches too. Come on, man. You crazy. See, I'm not saying that these guys are good. It's like how people say, like, these guys in the past. It's because, just be real. You guys just don't. You guys just watch the sport today and this community. It is what it is. I understand this community. I think more people watch boxing today in the YTBC. People talk about boxing today. It's to shit on boxing. I think they look at boxing as a community to troll the fighters. And since these fighters only react to the hate, it makes people hate more. See, the only time people show up, right? The only time you get a reaction on Twitter from a fighter, the only time you get a reaction or when they want to pop up on a panel, when they want to pop them on a panel, is when you're talking shit about them. And what's happening is, and your fighters and trainers and entourage, listen to me right now. The people see that and they be like, oh, I don't get their attention to show them love, to show them support. You get their attention by talking shit, right? Think about it. Shout out to Sean Porter. Sean Porter is gonna be fighting, I think, a scrimmage or whatever with Ray Jackson. Ray Jackson in Twitter, he be going in on everybody. But all these guys give him that. He's getting opportunities for going at them. The people that showed them, the people that showing Sean Porter love is not getting the opportunity to share the ring with him, right? What about those other channels and all those boxing or that show you love Sean Porter? You don't say, you know what? Let me give them a platform and let me get in the ring with them, and then they could take that into their platform and build on that. No. Haters are getting the opportunities. You know what I'm saying? So people see that and they be like, you know, everybody, let's spike an emotion. Pernell Whitaker, I think he'll do his thing in this era. See, in this era. Pernell Whitaker would beat guys in this era. See, their skill set that you see, their skill set that we see. We see what special look like. Forget about when we're talking about look. And that's why sometimes I be hating the discussion of the past and today, because this is the problem, is that people like to compare the past to today only with special fighters. Only with special fighters. Comparing special fighters to guys that are now walking into their prime. So it's easy to shit on. That's why it's easy for people to shit on today's fighters with the past, but you only want to mention special fighters from the past. But even special fighters from the past wouldn't do this. What special fighter from the past, people today wouldn't do what special fighter from the past did, like quit and say no mas. Mayweather, I think Mayweather beats Sweet Pea Whitaker. Yes, Floyd Mayweather beats Sweet Pea Whitaker. Yes, he beats him. I feel he beats him. I think Roy Jones Jr. beats Canelo. I think Canelo beats Hagler. Who else? Who else from the past? Thomas Hearns is I think Thomas Hearns beat anybody at 154. I do believe that. I think Thomas Hearns mechanics skillfully beats everybody at 154. See, that's another just special talent at 154. But when he steps up, but also let's be real, Thomas Hearns' defense is not all that special either. The reason why he talked the way he talked. Thomas Hearns at 154, he beats anybody. I think Thomas Hearns beats Winky Wright. I think Thomas Hearns beat Fernando Vargas. I think Thomas Hearns beat Oscar at 154. I think Thomas Hearns beat anybody too. Yeah, man. Mayweather versus Whitaker. Draw a defensive chess match, depending on which Mayweather he's fighting. If it's pretty boy Floyd Mayweather, that pretty boy Floyd beats Whitaker. It'll be a great matchup. Let's not forget that Roger Mayweather gave Whitaker a run for his money as well and dropped Whitaker as well. And I think that Floyd Mayweather is a better defensive and offensive fighter than Roger Mayweather. Thomas Hearns versus Paul Williams. Good matchup right there. See, I think with Paul Williams, he was forced to move up because he was being avoided. He was forced to move up. He could have stayed at 147 for a long time. Paul Williams, people was afraid of his height, his leverage, and all that. You know what I'm saying? That's why he was forced to move up. That's why I never was really truly mad that he lost. You know, he was forced to move up. Chavez quit against Oscar. Oh, he was bleeding, bro. What you talking about? You couldn't see, bro. You blinded is one thing. Duran quit because he couldn't match up the skills of Sugar Ray Leonard, bro. That's quitting. Not quitting because you blind and can't see. And you can't see these punches, ping, ping, and you can't see these punches, motherfucker. I can't see, bro. I'm not dummy either. Lonos, you just mad because Roberto Duran did quit. And Roberto Duran, look at how unforgiving the boxing world is. The boxing world is so unforgiving that Roberto Duran did quit. And most people, most pundits still have Roberto Duran as top 5 boxer of all time with the no mas. That's why I know boxing is unforgiving. And that's why a lot of people could criticize these fighters today. But when they retire, when they retire, yo, even when they go away, boxing community miss certain fighters. Like, to be honest, hold on. Cosmico los 5 pesos. F this dumb ass, uncultured clown, low nose talking about. Cotton taking a knee. Cotto taking a knee. He fought a fighter that cheated, you effing moron, and came back to win. Tell him, Cosmic. Tell him. Ese tigre low knows boxing. Low knows nothing boxing. Eso es. Tell him, Cosmic. He's just trying to, yo, Cosmic, low nose boxing is just trying to justify that I said that Roberto Duran quit. Yo, every sports no mas because of Roberto Duran. No mas. This is going for decades. Nobody forget about no mas. Nobody forget about no. When somebody quits today, it's no mas. Why? That's how big no mas was. Teofimo Lopez never quit. Yeah. Latino, he said Latino quitters. Well, there was a fighter just a couple of months ago or a month ago that had hair grease in his eye, and he took a knee and then turned around and told his trainer, please wipe my eye, like a straight up bitch. Huh? The super chatty patty game, me dice. That mother ever quit on his goal every day. Yo, there was just another fighter the other day that had little grease on his eye and stuff like that. Soul Glow, took a knee, turned around, told his trainer to wipe his eye and stuff like that. Should have been disqualified. They broke every damn rule in the rule book, bro. Juan Manuel Marquez would have whooped T.O. Facts. Would have been a good fight. I think why people. I think it would be good. I think T.O. could beat Marquez. I think T.O. could beat Marquez. But it'll be a good fight. I think that the up and down and the roller coaster of the performances of Teofimo Lopez has let people feel that anybody could beat him. But that's something that he needs to erase. You know what I'm saying? Because of the roller coaster performance of Teofimo Lopez and fighting and fighting below his not below his standard, but expectations is the reason why everybody could say that everybody has a chance versus Teofimo Lopez. But that's something that he needs to change. If Teofimo Lopez beat Richard Comey and then beat Vasily Lomachenko and then would have gone and beaten Josh Taylor like that, nobody would say nothing about Teofimo Lopez today. No, nobody. Everybody be like, shh. They'll be like Bernard Hopkins after when he beat Vasily Lomachenko. He said, I don't see nobody ever beating Teofimo Lopez. That's what Bernard Hopkins said after the Vasily Lomachenko fight. He said the only one that could beat Teofimo Lopez is himself. I don't see nobody ever beating Teofimo Lopez. That's how good. Yo, you got to see that Legends was giving Teofimo Lopez so much props. I got videos of Legends, bro. Videos of Legends telling Tio, oh my God, baby. Roberto Duran, Tito Trinidad, Manny Pacquiao. Oh, yo, everybody came out the woodwork to praise him. That George Cambosa, I'm gonna tell you like that George Cambosa did it really changed. It really changed a lot for Tio, and I think it still have left a black eye on his brand. That it is what it is, man. He still got to overcome that. It still got to overcome that. That shit been like four years ago, and people still trolling him with that. He still has to overcome that. I would have thought that a win versus Josh Taylor would have overcame that. For a second it did. But then the Jermaine Ortiz, and it wasn't, for me, I think Jermaine Ortiz just ran. And I think that Jermaine Ortiz is way better than that for him to run like that. I never seen him fight like that before or after fighting Teofimo Lopez. The Sando Martin was, but that was before the Josh Taylor. right? Going the whole 12 with Steve Claggett. You know what I'm saying? That was a guy that nobody knew who he was. They don't know because they haven't seen it. They judging from his current performances, but what Tio is capable of is what the legends have praised. He has the reflexes, the skills, and the attributes. Yes. Facts. I think Teofimo Lopez could beat these guys. Teofimo Lopez could beat Roberto Duran too. Let me see if somebody gonna say no. In the lightweight division, Teofimo Lopez could beat Roberto Duran. Dime, ay, ahora, dime. I want to know. No, he won't. No, he won't. Teofimo Lopez in lightweight division beats Roberto Duran. Let me see. I want to see in the chat. A ver. He said, no way. Why not? No way. Why not? Roberto Duran lost to De Jesus. Huh? Roberto Duran didn't lose to De Jesus in the lightweight division. Oh, you think these guys was like untouchable and stuff like that? He could be at lightweight division. Teofimo Lopez could beat Roberto Duran in the lightweight division. And I want to know why not. He's young for sure. Oh, so that's what you're gonna say every time. Every time we talk about Teofimo Lopez beating somebody, he lost to Kambosos. And how long is that? How long is that going to last in Teofimo Lopez's career? Because I'm gonna say the same thing about every legendary fighter. Oh no, he can't beat this guy. No, Manny Pacquiao can't beat Cotto because he lost to Torres Compa. No. Manny Pacquiao cannot beat Marquez because he lost to Torres Compa. No. Manny Pacquiao cannot beat Shane Mosley because he lost to Torres Compa. Is that what we are? Yo, let's change the narrative already. Yeah, eso se acabó. Yeah. Prime Duran beats Tio. I'm not saying that he can. I'm saying that Tio beats Duran. Why not? So is De Jesus the best guy in the lightweight division if he was here today? Huh? Think Tio didn't care in the press because girl. But I want to know, guarantee Teofimo know what the short Campbell. Oh, of course, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Prime Cotto would knock Tio clean out. You think Kambosos hits hard? That's what I mean? Like everybody. So why Josh Taylor didn't knock him out? Why Josh Taylor didn't knock him out? Josh Taylor was the best at 140 had to offer. The best resume at 140. Everybody goes back to you guys are never gonna. Yo, that shit was 4 years ago. And that shit was a split decision. You guys acting like, why y'all acting like Kambosos murdered Teofimo Lopez? Like if George Kambosos did a number on Teofimo Lopez and knocked him out and stopped him. Why y'all acting like, why y'all assessment are like that? Like why y'all over-exaggerate the George Kambosos? That was a split decision victory in which in the championship rounds, Teofimo Lopez hurt George Kambosos and knocked George Kambosos too. Why y'all don't talk about it? Like, why y'all acting like this shit was like a one-sided beatdown? Like, I don't understand how y'all. But George Kambosos, I mean, if he could, George Kambosos did it. I mean, if he did it, George Kambosos. So everything is. What you think about Tio versus Tank? Well, George Kambosos beat him. What you think about Tio versus Haney? Well, George Kambosos beat him. What you think about Tio versus Ryan? Well, George Kambosos beat him. And how long is that going to go to his career? Huh? What do you think about? All right, ladies and gentlemen. No, Teofimo Lopez is not going to be Arnold Barbosa because he lost to George Kambosos. Let's just say that's going to be the trend, right? So who wins, Tio or Barbosa? No. Barbosa's going to win because Tio lost to George Kambosos. Let me see who wins, Tio. Let me see who's going to win. Let me see who wins. Teofimo Chica, who wins? Teofimo Lopez or Arnold Barbosa? Okay, no. Pues ya Tio no le puede ganar a nadie. Yo, Teofimo Lopez had won 5 straight victories. No, but it's George Kambosos. That's why George Kambosos is still in boxing, capitalizing off everybody. Porque no, ese tigre está viviendo de eso. Ustedes ya don't even care what George Kambosos is doing right now. Hey, yo, people don't even know what George Kambosos is doing right now. He's living off you guys trolling Tio, saying that he beat him, and he lives off that. Aha, beat Tio. Hey, yo, George Kambosos, when you truly really like did something after the Teofimo Lopez, I don't know, I beat Tio, and everybody go at Tio, he beat Kambosos. Hey, let me get another contract. I did beat Teofimo Lopez. Yo, if Teofimo Lopez is not that great, how is George Kambosos capitalizing so much of that win? If Teofimo Lopez is not that great, right? If Teofimo Lopez is not that great, how is George Kambosos still capitalizing off that win after 4 years? Who still capitalized off a win that off a win that's not even a great fighter? Think about it. Not even Buster Douglas could capitalize off the win after Mike Tyson as long as George Kambosos did with Teofimo Lopez. Because right after he lost, look, after Buster Douglas lost to Evander Holyfield, nobody was even telling Mike Tyson to get back with Buster Douglas, even when he came out of jail, and Buster Douglas was still active. How long is the George Kambosos is going to live? Like, how long y'all going to make him live? Off a split decision victory, bro. I will understand that this guy did a number like if he did like a Ryan, what Ryan did to Devin. Because at the end of the day, Ryan and George Kambosos is the same guys. Yeah. George Kambosos never was a champion. Ryan Garcia never was a champion. If you look at the resumes, he lost to Tank. He beat Luke Campbell, got dropped by Luke Campbell. George Kambosos beat Mickey Bay, ex-world champion. Lee Selby, ex-world champion. Oh, now I'm tripping. Oh, no, y'all tripping. Because what y'all want to say is that George Kambosos was a straight up bum that came out of nowhere. But that was on y'all not knowing boxing, because I told y'all before, leading up to the fight, I was talking to George Kambosos. I was telling y'all about George Kambosos a year before he even fought Teofimo Lopez. I did the Lee Selby George Kambosos live commentary. I did the George Kambosos Lee Selby live commentary. You guys didn't know about George Kambosos because you didn't want to know about George Kambosos. See, I'm a Manny Pacquiao fan, so I already know who George Kambosos was because George Kambosos was Manny Pacquiao's favorite sparring partner that did over 200 sparring rounds. Every time Manny Pacquiao had a big fight, he would call George Kambosos. Leading up to the Keith Thurman fight, George Kambosos. So I knew who George Kambosos was. And I said, leading up to the Teofimo Lopez fight, that George Kambosos is going to be more of a dangerous fight than Vasily Lomachenko. You guys thought I was capping. You guys thought that I was retarded. You guys thought that. Then it's like, oh, yo, he got humbled. No, your analysis got humbled. It's almost like the Lamont Peterson and Gervonta Tank Davis. You guys wanted to say that Lamont Roach was a bum. You guys didn't want to give him a chance. You guys said that he was going to get knocked out in the second or the third round. You guys said that. I told y'all, hey, yo, y'all frustrated with Gervonta Tank Davis, but don't be frustrated with the champion moving up and daring to be great. I told you that. And then when Lamont Roach does his thing, you guys are saying, well, Gervonta Tank Davis got exposed. He got exposed. No, you got exposed. Your analysis got exposed. You ain't do your homework. You just looked at a guy that was coming up, and it was not a Devin Haney. It was not a Ryan Garcia. It was not a Teofimo Lopez. So anybody that Gervonta Tank Davis fights is a straight up bum to y'all. tenemos 28 gente aquí today. It's not a good topic. We should take out the all right, brothers. Then if it's 28 people looking on, that means the topic is shitty. It's shitty, then we got to, bounce. No support. There's not a real support today. Clear this up for me, Punch, but yeah, not a real support today. But next live, when people want to show up, we could chop it up even longer than that. But yeah, man, 29 numbers, man. Very, 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 very disappointed at the channel. But thank you, everybody, man. Love y'all. Have a great Saturday. Peace out. Love y'all. God bless. And on to the next.